Jimmie Johnson is one of the greatest race car drivers of all time. With 83 victories and 7 championships, there's no way that you can question the greatness that he has and the talent that he's brought to the sport. But in order to get up to 7 championships, you first have to win the first one, and the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Well, today we're going to focus on the first 5, because he did this as an unprecedented 5 straight championship seasons from 2006 to 2010, through changing cars, rules, and points formats. Well, it wasn't easy, and it all started in 2005. Johnson had run a great campaign, but it wouldn't be enough to topple Smoke. The stress of the failed chase brought JJ and his crew chief Chad Knaus to their limits. Their headbutting got to the point that Rick Hendrick actually had to lock him in a room with milk and cookies until the two youngsters could come to an agreement. This led to the 2006 to 2010 dominant run. In 2005, Johnson had 13 top 5s and 22 top 10s, but he had 5 DNFs that led to an average finish of 12.7. Where Johnson improved was with his consistency. While only having 2 more top 10s in 2005, his average finish jumped up 3 spots from 12.7 to 9.7 in 2006. This was, on average, the best that he ran in any of his 7 championship seasons. This consistency helped him rise above the competition, even with numerous major hits. It also would serve as the bedrock of seasons to come. In his 5 consecutive championships, his lowest average finish would be 12.2 in 2010. Still, half a position higher than 2005. Now, the next area he really improved on was shown in full force in 2007. In 2005, he had 4 wins, and in 2006, he had 5. In 2007, that number skyrocketed to 10. Jeff Gordon was astronomically consistent in 2007, so Johnson couldn't lean back on his 2006 game plan to win it all. He rattled off 10 victories, including 4 consecutive wins during the chase, and it pushed him past the 24. It's a natural growth, though, as from consistency running up front, wins will definitely follow. But once again in 2008, someone used JJ's previous game plan, and that somebody was Carl Edwards. Edwards won the most races in 2008, but where Johnson beat him was just plainly staying on the track. Now, what do I mean by that? Simply put, Jimmie Johnson was on the racetrack more than any other driver that year. Johnson only missed 72 laps all season. Then you have Edwards, who had DNFs in the chase when it mattered most. Now, after a 3rd straight title, 2009 would see the 48 improve on one of the basics: starting position. Johnson's average starting spot in 2009 was an elite 8.2, which would not only be the highest of his 5 consecutive titles, but also the entirety of his career. This helped immensely in the X factor for his 2009 championship season, and that would be his crazy high amount of laps led. 2,238, the highest in his career. This was nearly 1,000 laps higher than the next closest driver in 2009 of Denny Hamlin. This was also about 1,500 more than his teammates and closest title competition in Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon. Now, the 5th title of this run in 2010 was one that saw all of these factors diminish. In many of these categories, he's outdone by one or both Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. The man who really made the difference in crunch time was Chad Knaus, his crew chief. Knaus was instrumental in 2010, just as he had been in 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009. But it was put on full display to the world at Texas with 3 races to go. Johnson's crew was having problems all day, and they would have slow stops as well. The 48 was puttering around below 20th position, looking like he was giving his championship away. He hardly was running how a 4-time champion should. With Jeff Gordon having crashed out, though, the 48 team would be swapped out for the 24 team to pit the Lowe's machine. This proved incredibly helpful, and at the end of the day and end of the season, Johnson beat Hamlin by 39 points and beat Harvick by 41. Knaus's bold move may have just been the difference, looking back. Now, along with Chad Knaus, there are two other overarching factors to JJ's 5 straight titles. The first is that this was at the peak of Johnson's prime. Obviously, you need to be at your best to win a championship, but with Johnson being in his early prime, it did mean that even if his surroundings weren't ideal, he could overcome them. HMS was off in both 2008 and 2010, yet he still won the championship, and convincingly, he won the championship. With this, he was able to do what no driver has ever done and probably never will replicate. Now, the other factor is purely dumb luck, or as Kevin Harvick likes to so eloquently say, his golden horseshoe up his ass. Sometimes things just play out in a driver's favor. A well-timed caution, the Red Sea of a crash opening up, rain at the right time. You can't see it coming many times, but it has an effect. If you want an example of how luck went against Johnson, just look at the 2012 season. Johnson had the superior car, team, crew chief, and driver talent, yet Brad Keselowski still won the championship. Keselowski, in many respects, had luck avoiding issues while Johnson was nuked by forces outside of his control. So Johnson's streak, for these reasons, was both improbable but also generation-defining. But that's it. Those are the factors that I really think helped Johnson win his 5 consecutive championships. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think were the biggest factors in Jimmie Johnson's historic winning streak? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Until next time, have a good one.